On this video, we're going to talk about a three-point saddle. We don't really want three-point saddles in our bends, in our lengths of conduit, but sometimes we have to. We'd much prefer the less bends as possible between our boxes. But on the floor, I've put together like an example that we might have to deal with. Where we're running along a straight edge, we come across something that's round, and we have to saddle over it. In this case, I've put together like a box here, for our starting point, and a round piece of pipe, and we're going to be trying to stay on the same flat plane, but then saddle over, and then get back to the flat plane so we keep our strapping and run with the form of the building. In this example, of course, we're going to have a bender. We're dealing with 3/4 inch EMT on this video. We're going to need a pencil, a nice level magnetic preferred with a 45-degree angle. We got our starting point measured out from the center of our obstruction. Our obstruction is 40 inches away from where our starting point is, the box. Box 40 inches away from the center of this. The height that we're going to deal with is right at showing 4 inches. Now we want to make sure we got space over this, so we're really looking at an obstruction that is a little bit less than 4 inches, but we're going to make it our bend at 4 inches. Always go up a little bit to give you a little bit of space, so we don't want our pipe touching whatever we're trying to jump over. The hard part about this is laying out where our marks go on the piece of pipe. We got 40 inches from here to the center of that. We've got a nice card that Amtech has logoed up, and it tells us on our card we have to deal with what's called pipe shrinkage. With three-point saddle, when we bend this pipe, it's going to shrink. We're going to come up with where the center of this is. We said that's 40 inches. We know the height is 4 inches. On our card, for a 4-inch saddle, we look at our card says that we're going to have 3/4 of an inch. For 4 inch of a rise, we're going to have 3/4 of an inch pipe shrinkage. So what we're going to have to do, we measured out 40 inches from our starting point to the center of our obstruction. We're going to put a mark to represent that, but we're going to add our pipe shrinkage. In this case, that pipe shrinkage is 3/4 of an inch. So we take our pipe and our tape measure, lay it out, we find 40 inches. We add 3/4 of an inch. So that puts our mark right at 40 3/4. Now, again, we only have 40 inches from center of that to the beginning of our pipe. We're going to run that all the way around with a pencil, not a Sharpie, a pencil. And that's our mark A. That's the establishment mark. We need to know where that's at. We go back to our card. Our card tells us where to place our other two marks, because this is going to be 3 different bends, hence a 3-point saddle. So for our 3 different bends, for a 4-inch, we're going to have a 10-inch measurement. A 10-inch measurement referenced from A. So from A, we're going to go 10 inches this way. From A, we're going to go 10 inches that way. And we're going to do that. And that's going to be our marks B and our mark C. So starting from A, we go back 10 inches. We'll place a mark. We'll make that mark all the way around the pipe. We're going to go from A again, go this direction, and go 10 inches. And make that mark all the way around. The way this looks is we're getting that, trying to make that center out. Now if you notice, I'm 3/4 of an inch overhang on my box now. That's going to shrink up. On our card, it tells us how to place our bender, what marks to use on our bender, and this is a little bit different than doing other bends. because on our bender, we have a 3-point saddle mark or the back of a 45 indentation on the bender itself. We got 2 different indents on this particular bender. Our A mark is going to go on the teardrop, not the star. The teardrop, which is the back of the 45. Our first bend is going to be at 45 degrees. Our other outside bends are going to be 22.5. And we got to bend our A first, then our B, then our C. Here's the way that looks. We're going to place our bender on the A mark, which the A mark is there, right where that indent is for the teardrop on this particular bender. We'll place it on the floor. Make sure we don't lose where that's at. We put a lot of foot pressure on it and we bring it up to 45 degrees. 45 degrees on this bender. A little bit past straight up will be 30. Using our level that has a 45 degree mark on it. We place that on there. It's magnetic. It holds. We can look through the viewfinder. And we bring that up to exactly 45 degrees when the bubble stays between the 2 lines. That's exactly 45 degrees according to my level. Now that's mark A, and that's the first bend. It looks like that. And we're on this indentation referencing the teardrop. Marks B and C, we're going to use the arrow. But we're always going to keep the front of this bender, the hook of this bender, facing A. And that's important. We're always going to be looking at the obstruction with our hook. So what happens, we